Hello guys, welcome to Globe Tech Solutions. So as you can see, today is our topic number 3. So the topic 3 is installation Windows Server services. So I'm going to show you today the main services is Active Directory domain services, and let me show you the theoretical knowledge of Active Directory. What is it actually? So Active Directory is a database and set of services that connect users with the network resources they need to get their work done. So by the help of Active Directory, we can manage all the users inside of our network infrastructure. So inside our organization unit. So the Active Directory domain services, I'm going to show you how to configure and how to installation. Let's go to our VMware workstation. So I will show you how to install it. So let's switch on the server now. And you can see here the services control much of the activity that goes on your IT environment. In particular, they make sure each person is who they claim to be. Authentication usually by checking the user ID and password. So this user ID and password I'm going to create it from the Active Directory domain services, and I will manage it from the Active Directory domain services so that client system can join on the Active Directory domain server with the help of this user ID and password. And whenever they want to log in, so they have to use this user ID and password, which I'm going to create it on Active Directory domain services. So these are the Windows Server services: Active Directory domain, FTP, IIS, DNS, DSP. You can see. So today is our point is Active Directory domain services, which I'm going to show you now. So let's our Windows get start. Okay guys, you can see our server is ready now. So let's log in. Okay, you can see this is our login screen. So login screen is, let me put my password. Okay guys, you can see the server is logged in. And this is the Windows 10 machine, which is still installing. So if you guys didn't see my previous video, so please go there and check. Go to my channel Globe Tech Solutions and check my previous episode. So there I was installing this machine, Windows 10 and Windows Server. This is the third video, so third lecture. You can see our server is logged in, and let me show you from scratch, so how to install Active Directory domain services and how to join a Windows machine on these Active Directory domain services. Let's go. So let's check our IP address first. What is our machine IP address? This is our machine IP address 31.6. Great. Let's install. Start server manager. Let's make it big. Okay. Click on manage. Add roles and features. So I already explained to you before that this Active Directory domain services is also a server services. Its roles and features. Windows Server roles and features. Add roles and features. Begin your before you begin, so you can see here the wizard helps you install role services or features. Let's click next. Then role based or feature based installation, it will be selected by default, so just click next. Then this is our server MyLabTC. This is our main domain controller where I am going to install the Active Directory domain services. Let's click next. Here I will select Active Directory domain services, which is our today's lecture. Here you can see all of the related services. It will be installed automatically. The features, you can select just add features, then next. Then these features will be installed automatically with this Active Directory domain services, so just click next. Sorry, let's see the DNS because we need DNS services. So just make sure it should be installed with this Active Directory domain services because we are going to need these domain services. Okay, so just click next here, next, and this is the restart the destination server automatically if required. So in our case there is no any destination server, so this is our main primary domain, so I will click install. So you can see how many features is going to install with this Active Directory domain services. You can see group policy management, which I will show you later. So what is group policy management and how it will work, so I will show you later. You can see remote server administration tools, roles administration tools, ADDS and LDS tools. So these are the services which are going to install with this main services Active Directory domain. So now it's installing. So let's check our Windows 10 machine. What is the status? Okay, still installing. So okay guys, you can see it's installing. So once we install the Active Directory domain services as per our module, you can see this DNS will be installing automatically with these services as Active Directory domain services, because this DNS is also required, and this is the main part with these Active Directory domain services. So these services will be installing automatically. If it's not installed, so you must ensure that you clicked on these services while you try to install. Okay, it's installing. Guys, if you want to get the theoretical knowledge, you can go to internet and you can write down what is Active Directory. So it will show you what is Active Directory actually and how it works. So you will get more knowledge from the internet also. So our part is to show you exactly how to install and what is the Active Directory. I already explained you, and now I'm just installing these features, and then I will show you how to configure and how it will work. This is our client machine which is installing now. Okay, so let's wait some times to get these features done. This at the time of installing you can close this also, no issue, it will be installing on the back end. Here you can see this flag option, just click here, you can see the progress. You can see our client machine is still installing, still getting some feature updates. Okay, great. You can see this installation succeed. You can see now it's showing configuration required, installation succeed. So now you can see on screen post deployment configuration. You can see promote the server to a domain controller. As this server is our main server, main domain controller, so I will click here promote this server to a domain controller. So this server will become a domain controller, our main domain controller. So let's promote it. So now you can see add a domain controller to an existing domain. So we don't have any other existing domain, so add a new domain to an existing forest. We don't have any forest now, so we will create add a new forest. So this is our primary domain server and this is our first time installation, so I will click add a new forest. These are the features I will show you later how these features will work. So now I will can put as per your convenient name. So I will put my dot local. So domain my test lab dot local. You guys can put as per your convenient name. So this name will be our main domain name. Next, here you can see domain name system DNS server will be specify domain control capabilities. You can see here is domain server global catalog, and here we need to create our main domain controller password. So I will click here, I will create our password. I have created the password, so make sure this password should be a strong password. Next, this one specified DNS delegation option, this one you don't need for now, so just click next. NetBIOS name, see this NetBIOS name will come automatically, my test lab, this is our NetBIOS name. Just next. This is the main database folder, this is the name, this is our main database file. Click next. Next, see this yellow remark, if you click install, the server automatically reboots at the end of the promotion operation. So automatically prerequisites checks, so just click install. So now it will install automatically and it will restart. You can see some of the related features are automatically installing with this at the time of this promoting domain controller. Let's see the status of our Windows 10 machine. Okay, it's almost done. So here I will just put admin. So this is the step of creation user ID for the Windows machine, and here just put basic password of our user. This is a security question, you can put as per your convenient name, so I will just put it same for my lab. See, it's already configured. You can see this message, this server was successfully configured as a domain controller. So now this machine is going to restart automatically. Okay, it's restarting now. Okay, let's complete this installation procedure for Windows 10, our client machine. As you can see, this one is still finishing the installation. This is the finalizing process. Okay guys, this is the finalizing process, just accept it. Let's make it bigger. This is our server machine is still restarting. This is the Windows 10 machine, Windows 10 client machine. You can see is still finalizing the process. Okay guys, perfect. You can see this is our server is now is ready. So now you can see this is our domain controller. You can see my test lab. This is our domain name, and I am going to log in with our administrator password which I have created before at the time of creation at the time of creation domain controller. It is not taking. Okay, it's fine. You can see I have logged in with our administrator password. Guys, you can see our server is ready, our domain controller is ready. So let's see our server domain controller name. My computer properties, so we can see our domain controller name. And system settings. Here also you can see my test lab is our domain controller, and here also if you click this is our domain. You can see the domain in the computer name. You can see domain is my test lab.local. This is our domain. Okay, great. So now I will show you Active Directory domain portal. Just click on the tools and let's go to the Active Directory Administrative Center. Okay, great. This Windows 10 client machine is also ready. Here I would like to show you this machine is on work group now. Let's see first computer and properties. Great, and you can see this is our desktop name. So this name I would like to change. Let me show you first our uh, system status. Computer name you can see is on the work group. It's not in the domain. So now the system is on the work group. So I will change the computer name first. So I will put it Windows 10 client 10. Let's put only Windows 10. Just put client 1. Then OK. Okay, it's changed. So now we have to restart this machine. Just restart it now. And let me show you the configuration of Active Directory Domain Service. This is the Active Directory Domain Administrative Center. So here you can see this is our domain controller, mytestlab.local. So let's go to Active Directory users and computer first. Let's close this one. This one I just show you for the overview. From here also you can go. Let me show you from here, tools and Active Directory users and computers. So all the users and computers you can see it here, as this is our mytestlab.local is our domain controller. So here you can see our users. You can see our by default users already created. This is the administrator users, and these are the prerequisites pre-requirement users which has already created. So now I'm going to create one user here. create one user here, new user. So I will put test 1 and I will put username local test 1. So my username local will be test1 at my testlab.local. Next, I will create password. You can select here, you can see the options. You can see user must change password at next login, or you can select user cannot change password. So whatever password you have set here, user have to use this password if you click here. And password never expires if you click here, so password will never expire. And if you want to disable the account, just tick here and next. So I will put user must change password at next login. So this is the recommended, so user can create password according to him. Then next, finish. So this test user is created now. So I will use this user to join our Windows 10 machine on our domain. So let's log in this Windows machine first. Okay, so Windows machine is logged in. So now let's check the IP address first. As you can see, our VMNet is the same. The virtual network should be same for both. This one I'm using NAT. This one also I'm using NAT. So let's see our server address. What is our server address? Run. Here I will type cmd. I will type config. So here you can see our server address is 31.6. So I will check the server is pinging or not from our client machine. This ping is most important things. So from client machine it should ping the server first before joining the client machine on this domain. Machine is hanging because of my main machine resource is low. So here if your main machine resource is good, then you will get better performance. Click cmd direct. Let's search. Okay, so run screen is up here. So here just type cmd. Okay, great. Just close this one. So let's see our IP address. Okay, so let's see our IP address. IP config. So you can see 31.144. This is the IP address of the VNet. This network adapter, virtual network adapter NAT. So our series is 31.144. So I will show you this IP address. This is the class C IP address. So I will describe this network configuration and network IP address on our basic networking class. So now just let's try to ping our server 192.168.31.6. 6 is our server IP address. So let's try to ping it. Perfect, you can see it's pinging. So now let's join this Windows machine on this Active Directory domain services, this domain controller machine. So to join the domain controller machine, you need to put IP address. So as this server is going to your domain controller, your main domain controller, so you need to put this IP address. Perfect, you need to put this IP address on this machine DNS. So this is your domain controller, so we have to use this address, this Windows 10 machine. So 6 is your Windows server, so this is our domain, so we have to use this IP address on this Windows machine. Okay, let's join this Windows machine on this Active Directory domain, this PC. Let's click on the properties. These steps, guys, remember these steps how to join. So now I will click on advanced system setting, then I will go to computer name, and here I will click on here. So you can see, to rename this computer, change its domain or work group, click change. So I will click change. So here you can see the system is now on the work group, and so I'm going to change it to our domain, and I'm going to join this system in our my test lab.local domain. This is our domain machine, and our domain is, you can see, my test lab.local. So I will click on domain, and I will put the our domain name, my test lab.local. Perfect, then okay. Here it is asking for the administrator credential, so here you have to use this administrator credential, which is by default created here. So I will use my administrator credential, test lab as administrator, and then I will put our password. Okay. Yes, guys, perfect. You can see, welcome to the my test lab.local domain. So the my system has joined on domain. So now just click OK. So now the system will restart automatically. You can see the prompt, you must restart your computer to apply these changes. Let's click OK, close. So now you can see, you must restart your computer to apply these changes. So just click restart now. So your this Windows 10 machine has joined on domain now. Here also you can see, here you can see computers. You can see our client 1 has joined here. So by default, if any of the client, if any Windows machine you want to join on this domain, so it will be showing here, it is by default. So later on our next video I will show you some advanced level of Active Directory domain services, how to create organization unit. So here you can see organizational unit view. So here I will show you in details on our next video. So this video is to this video is to show you this client machine, how to join this client machine and how to install the Active Directory. So let's see on Windows 10 machine. It's restarting now. You can see here already our client 1, which I have given before our Windows 10 machine name. So you can see this name is here, so it means it's already joined here. So now you have to use your users, which user you want to use here. So whichever user you want to use for this Windows 10 machine login, so you have to create it here. So that's why before we create this user here to log in this machine, you can create another user also, just new user. You can use test2 and user login name also test2. Just next with the password. User must change password and next login is recommended. Next, finish. So these two user I have created now. So you can use any of the user to log in this machine. Which user you will allow to log in your client machine. Just click here. You can see I will not log in with as an admin. I will click other user. So as you can see, our machine is on the my test lab. You can see sign into my test lab. So I will select my domain name and user ID, my test lab slash. I will use this user, one of the user you can see. So this is depend on you guys, which user you will allow your client machine to log in. So that user your client machine will use to log in here. So I will use here test2 and the password which I have created. So I will use that password. Whichever password you will create here, so that password we have to use here to log in. So this credential will be managed from the Active Directory domain services only. User will not be able to manage. Oops, it's wrong. Okay, let's try once more. Oh, I think the password is having some problem. Just let's reset this password. You can see, just right click over here and reset password. You can create another password. So now the password, you can see the password for test2 has been changed. Let's try this new password. Wait, use test2 at my testlab.local. Okay, you can see how I did it. Just use our complete username. You can see it here. Just double click here, accounts. You can see this is the complete username. Either you can use this one. If it's not work this one, then you can use this complete name, test2 at my testlab.local. So in here, test2 at my testlab.local and password which I have created. Here you can see the user password must be changed before signing, because that time at the time of creation user ID I have select this one, user must change password at next login. So let's change the user password. Okay, you can see your password has been changed. So let's log in with this new password. So now you can see this test2 is your username and password, whichever password your client machine will change at the time of login. You forgot the password, you can just reset from here. You can reset it from here, direct right click and reset password. And also you can go from here, password, account. So here you can set the logon hour also. As per your convenient time, you can create a schedule for your logon hour, how much time you want to keep logging this system. If it's locked, then you can unlock the account from here also. And you can set any other this is the profile path. You can set the profile path also, local path also, your home folder, you can set it here. You can put these details, telephone, organizations, and these are the details. You can put it here according to your company requirement. And to reset password, you have to go there and reset password. If you want to reset the password, you can reset the password. If you want to disable the account, you can disable it. Let's see. Okay, so it's starting. Okay, you can see the Windows machine is on. Now let's see, let's check the Windows machine is on the domain or workgroup. From here, just click this PC properties, system settings. We'll ask the administrator credential because you already joined on the domain. So this is a client machine. Client machine doesn't have access to change or do anything. So this changing and all the things is already on only access through the administrator console. So here you can log in with your administrator. Okay, great. It's logged in now. I have used my administrator credential. So here you can see device name client 1. This device name you can see here also, computer client 1. And you can see full device name client1.mytestlab.local. As you can see here, user. This is the full device name because this is our domain mytestlab.local, and this is the device name client 1. And if you go here, advanced system settings, the admin credential you have to use. It you can see let's check the computer name, and let's see now it's showing domain, and the domain name is mytestlab.local. See it. So now your system is working as a domain. So if you want to change anything, you will not have permission, because only server machine have the permission to change your client machine. So your client machine will be controlled by this domain controller. So you can see your Windows 10 machine here, and you can see your Windows server. Your Windows machine is logged in here. It's showing here. Here you can see your DNS name is client1.mytestlab.local. DC type, you can see workstation server. This is the operating system details. You can see Windows 10 Pro. So here you can see your system details from this computer's option. Okay guys, for today's video this much. So for next video I will show you advanced Active Directory level, how to create OU from here, how to create OU, and how to organize all the computers, how to organize the users. And yeah, so next video I will show you how to install configure DNS also, and what is the DNS and how DNS is works actually. So these details I will show you on the next video. So today is for this much. Okay guys, thank you. And if you have any query, so you can put it on the comment box, so I will try to resolve it. Yeah. Okay guys, thank you. See you on the next class.